Hi everyone, Dark Ramos here with the Volume Profile Nerd, and I'm going to quickly go over the morning rundown for May 9th, Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. And so the first thing that I'll mention is that ES and NQ, they're opening within yesterday's range, but below yesterday's value. So if we look at ES here, we have the value area low. So we have yesterday's value, the value area high, value area low, and the POC. We're opening up below yesterday's value. And right now, ES is a small gap down open. We're right underneath the RTHL. We'll see if we get acceptance back above in pre-market. But as of now, we're below the regular trading hours low. We know for ES, sellers would need to get under the overnight low because we made a new low here in the overnight session. So sellers would need to get below the overnight low to affirm the overnight session and continue to go on the offensive. Sellers are positioned better here, being closer under the RTHL on ES. And yeah, overnight inventory is net short. It's all below the previous day close. So this morning will be all about inventory, overnight inventory correction if we get any, or if it's a gap and go situation for ES. I think for ES, we would have to get underneath this bit of balance from Friday to continue to go on the offensive. So yeah, because we're below the value area low on ES, this is going to be a key upside reference for sellers to try and hold. If they can't and buyers get above, buyers will be looking at the value area high, POC, overnight high, which are all close together up here, and then the regular trading hours high up here. So that's ES. For NQ, fairly similar. NQ is a little bit stronger than ES. We're currently holding the regular trading hours low, and we don't have as much space below the value area low here, but we still are underneath yesterday's value. And we didn't make a new low in the overnight session. We have the regular trading hours low down here, whereas in ES, the regular trading hours low is a bit higher, and we're at the moment just testing it or slightly below. So NQ is a little bit closer to its value area low. Again, the range from Friday I think will be key here for NQ, and we do have a little range from yesterday. I just drew up the POC to see if we get acceptance above this first, or if we head down and try to test this range from Friday here on NQ. So we know the value area low is also a key upside reference for NQ that sellers want to hold to negate buyers from getting back into yesterday's value, and sellers want to build value lower. So again, I referenced the value from my session volume profile over here, and I draw up the lines, the blue lines and the red lines for the POC. Blue lines are the value area high, value area low, and the red line is the POC. So yeah, the value area low on NQ is at 13,28975, and on ES it's 4146. Yeah, I mentioned ES is relatively weaker in pre-market. So goal for buyers on ES is to find acceptance back into yesterday's value. And if we get acceptance back, then buyers will be looking to target the value area high, overnight high, previous day close, and POC to then target the regular trading hours high. Goal for sellers is to, find little acceptance back into yesterday's range, and then stay below the open and get back under the regular trading hours low and the overnight low to continue to press the issue and ideally get underneath this range here. Goal for buyer. Yeah, I already mentioned that. So that's goal for sellers is to find acceptance under the overnight low, and day plus sellers need to get under the overnight low to affirm the overnight session sellers. Similar here for NQ. Buyers want to get back into yesterday's value. I know this sounds repetitive, but just kind of repeating it here. But buyers want to get back into yesterday's value above the value area low to then target the overnight high, POC, and previous day close, which are all close to each other, to then target the value area high and then ideally get above the regular trading hours high. So no change for day plus buyers on ES and NQ without getting above the regular trading hours high, and no change for day plus sellers on NQ without getting below the regular trading hours low, which on NQ, the regular trading hours low is below the overnight low. And again, this range here from Friday will be key for sellers to get through. And yeah, mentioned this on NQ. So getting a little bit repetitive there, but that's the goal for sellers and the goal for buyers on ES and NQ. So on the daily, I'll quickly go to the daily here. So on the daily, ES is approaching the 331, 413 range. So the POC here of this range. So I'm thinking this is where sellers want to get to. If we don't get there, that'll be notable. And buyers want to find acceptance above the value area high of this range to get to the POC of this 221, 217 range from back here. On NQ, the daily, we're currently below the value area low of this 425.22, 5622 range. Looks like sellers want to target the value area high of this March 30th through April 25th range. See if we get there. If sellers can't find acceptance under this value area low, then I'm thinking we should target the POC here of this 425, 5622 range at 13,475.50. So then if we look at the hourlies, so on the hourlies, I'll go to ES first. On the hourlies, yeah, so I've coincided the hourlies. If we find acceptance under the, well, if we find acceptance under the RTHL, I'm keeping my eye on the overnight low and that range from Friday, because it also matches up with this recent range here from May 2nd through May 3rd on ES, and I'm looking at the value area low of 4132. So if we do get below the overnight low with no follow through, that can mean that this value area low of this 5253 range is holding, and we could rotate back to the value area high here. And then we have this little range, recent little range up here that I'll be keeping an eye on. If we find acceptance under this value area low, eyes on the value area high of 4556 range, which is from back here. And that's what I'll be keeping an eye on. And if we manage to get back up to the regular trading hours high up here, I'm going to keep an eye on this recent balance from Friday, May 5th through May 9th. So this recent balance here from the last 4 days. If we find acceptance above the RTH high, that'll probably mean we're finding acceptance up above this range, and we could head to the value area high of 417, 418, which is right here. Okay, so that's the hourly for ES. On NQ, if we find acceptance under the RTHL, the regular trading hours low, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. Let me go here on the hourly. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this value area high of the 331.45 range, which is from back here on NQ. So this range back here. And if we manage to get to the regular trading hours high back into yesterday's value, again, I'm keeping an eye on this value area high from way back. It's from 822, 826, 22. So it's actually from here. So this range here, 822 to 826. I just marked up the value area high because we've rejected from there multiple times now, recently about 4 times. So if we do get to the regular trading hours high, I'm going to keep an eye on that level again. And I'm thinking if we do get back up there, then buyers are proving a bit more, and we could try to break that range. Not sure if it happens today, but that's what I'll be keeping an eye on. If we manage to get back into yesterday's value and head towards the regular trading hours high. We do need to get above the overnight high, previous day close, and POC to try for that. But I'm thinking if we do get back into yesterday's value and buyers press the issue, that could be the next target up here, which, coincides with this value area high. And, that means we're breaking this recent kind of lower high here on the daily. I'm keeping an eye out, if sellers can get below the regular trading hours low on NQ, and if sellers can get below the overnight low on ES. If they can't, then it could be a rotational day. Multiple passes through the open could mean a balanced day. But if we do find acceptance back into yesterday's value and above the value area low of yesterday on both ES and NQ, then I'll be keeping my eye out for some upper references on the hourly and daily levels and the regular trading hours high to see if buyers can manage to get up there. But we'll keep an eye on tempo and how we're kind of progressing to these different daytime frame references, and we'll be keeping an eye on the hourly and daily levels for the day. So that's my morning prep and rundown. I think that's all I got. I'm trying to think if there were any earnings recently. Just tech rotation right now. I think Meta and Google are stronger than Apple and Amazon at the moment. I'd have to double check, but I'll check that as well. Maybe I can do a quick just review here of sectors. So yeah, we know SPY is a little bit weaker than QQQ. XLF, big gap down. XLE, IWM testing the low of yesterday. XLE, gap down open. XBI, relatively stronger with more space above its low of yesterday. XLV, kind of in the middle of the road, relatively stronger than the other sectors. XLU testing its low of yesterday here in pre-market, and SMH testing the low of yesterday, or at the low of yesterday here in pre-market. For tech, so that was SPY basically. So we can see why SPY is a little bit weaker. It looks like most sectors are near their lows of yesterday or under it, and XLF has a gap down open. So for tech, Apple is closer to its low of yesterday. Amazon kind of in the middle of the road. Netflix, the relatively stronger tech name, closer to its high of yesterday. Google, stronger tech name with a gap up open. Microsoft, weaker tech name, closer to its low of yesterday. Meta, closer to its low of yesterday, but a little bit more space than some of the other tech names from its low of yesterday. So we have, we're just a little bit more above it. And Tesla closer to its low of yesterday. NVDA, kind of in the middle of the road. It is above some hourly pivots from yesterday, so I'd say it's relatively stronger. Buyers do want to hold this hourly pivot from yesterday, this hourly higher low, to continue to press the issue, but more in the middle of the road. So the high of yesterday and the low of yesterday will be key. Otherwise, we'll just be kind of in yesterday's range on NVDA. So yeah, so we can see why tech is a little bit stronger. There's no gap down opens on tech, and a few tech names are above their high of yesterday, and some tech names are in the middle of the road. Amazon's kind of in the middle of the road, and Apple is closer to its low of yesterday, but I think some of the other tech names are helping. Google above, gap up open. So I say Google's helping tech, but no gap down opens, and NVDA is kind of in the middle of the road. So we can see that tech is a bit stronger, and XLF looks like it's holding, it's pulling back SPY a little bit with a pretty large gap down open, and IWM testing its low, and XLV kind of in the middle of the road. So I think a lot will be dependent on XLF. If XLF can get a bounce going today, it could help SPY, and we'll see how QQQ does. If XLF is weak, I think QQQ or NQ will have to hold up the market a bit. Otherwise, we could have maybe all sectors at their lows. But if there's rotation, then it's still good for buyers or bulls there. Buyers. So yeah, that's my morning prep. That's what I'll be looking at this morning. Thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll be doing my trade review later this evening. Thank you.